Skol Nation, stop right now. U.S. Bank Stadium just got rocked by 3 consecutive earthquakes. And the first number is already on the table. 35 years old, a beloved receiver asked out. A coordinator just drew a line in the sand defending his head coach. And the quarterback carousel spun again with another body flying off. Insiders have been whispering since Sunday's shutout loss. And here's your first payoff, that 35-year-old veteran. He's Adam Thielen, and his wife just revealed the real reason he demanded his release. If you scold louder than you breathe, hit like right now and let Packers fans know who OWNS the North. We start with the exit that has Minnesota divided. Stay locked, there's a double cliffhanger at the end involving Justin Jefferson. Closed door. Sunday night. One agent, one phone call, one request that Kwesi Adofo-Mensah didn't see coming. The player, a Vikings legend who bled purple for 8 seasons, caught over 6,000 yards in Minnesota, and came back for one more ride. Who walked away? Adam Thielen. And his wife Caitlin just dropped the truth that changes how you see this entire story. Thielen didn't leave because of the 4-8 record. He didn't bail because of the shutout loss to Seattle. He left because he wanted to compete, to play, to finish his final NFL season on his terms. Not sitting on the sideline watching the clock run out. Caitlin explained it in an Instagram video. It's not even about wins or losses. It's about Adam wanting to compete, wanting to play. This is his last season. I know him as a competitor. He wants to prove. He's always been about proving people. Proving to himself. That's a warrior mentality. That's a man who refused to let his career end as a healthy scratch. Because that's exactly what happened. Thielen sat out Week 13 against the Seahawks. 0 snaps, not injured, just inactive. For a man who clawed his way from undrafted free agent to Pro Bowler, that was unacceptable. His agent requested the release the week before, and Minnesota granted it December 1st. One day later, the Pittsburgh Steelers claimed him off waivers. Pittsburgh is 9-3, battling for the AFC North title, and desperately needs receiver help. Thielen walks into a room with DK Metcalf and Calvin Austin. He's not the number 1 option, but he'll get reps, he'll get targets, and most importantly, he'll be on the field. That's all he wanted. Minnesota brought Thielen back in late August when they traded for him from Carolina right before the season started. It felt like a fairy tale return. But fairy tales don't survive when Jordan Addison comes back healthy. And the depth chart squeezes you out. Thielen played only 3 snaps in Week 12 against Green Bay 3. For a man who once caught 1,418 yards. In a single season for the Vikings, 3 snaps is a slack class on both sides. No burning bridges, no Twitter rants. Just a mutual understanding that his role had shrunk and his window was closing. Kwesi respected the competitor in Thielen and let him walk. But here's the question Vikings fans need to ask. If Thielen, and in the middle of the storm stands one man defending the captain of the ship, who stepped up? Wes Phillips, Minnesota's offensive coordinator. And what he said Tuesday could either unite this coaching staff or expose the cracks everyone's been whispering about. Phillips didn't hold back when asked about head coach Kevin O'Connell during media availability. He said, "I think if you have a good football coach in this league has gotten to a point where the solution is always just cut bait. Blow it up and start new. I think if you have a good football coach, those coaches are going to solve problems and find ways to right the support. That's a public declaration." Phillips is telling the Wilf family, the fan base, and the media, give Kevin O'Connell time. Don't panic. Don't blow it up. But here's the tension. The Vikings are 4-8. They've played 5 different quarterbacks this season due to injuries and poor performance. McCarthy, the 10th overall pick in 2024, has thrown 10 interceptions in just 6 starts and currently sits in concussion protocol. Carson Wentz is done for the year with a so when Phillips says good coaches will right the ship, find solutions, he's asking for patience in a league that doesn't give patience. According to insiders, this is a rumor. There are rumblings inside the Vikings facility that some position coaches are privately frustrated with how the quarterback situation has been managed. But Phillips is holding the line. He believes O'Connell is a problem solver, not a problem creator. And heading into Week 14 against Washington, O'Connell confirmed McCarthy is expected to start barring Minnesota could catch a break. This game is massive for O'Connell's job security. A win steadies the ship. A loss and the whispers turn into ROARS. Do you think Kevin O'Connell deserves more time to fix this mess, or is it time to move on? Comment your on marking the second time this season they've cut ties with the journeyman quarterback. CBS Sports confirmed the Vikings released Ridder from the practice squad Tuesday. Ridder signed with the Vikings last Thursday due to injuries to starter J.J. McCarthy and backup Carson Wentz. With McCarthy likely to clear concussion protocol this week, the Vikings seem to have lost the need for Ridder's depth. Translation: the house is full, and Ridder is the odd man out again. Let's recap the insanity. Minnesota has played 5 different quarterbacks this season: McCarthy, Wentz, Brosmer, John Wolford, and Ridder in an emergency role. That's 5 in one season. No team can win like that. No offense can develop rhythm like that. Ridder's NFL resume is the definition of journeyman. His career numbers: 16 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, roughly 160 passing yards per game. He's serviceable, he's mobile, but no one confuses him for a franchise quarterback. Ridder served as the emergency quarterback last Sunday in Seattle, but he never saw the field because Brosmer, despite looking terrible, stayed healthy. If McCarthy hadn't been in concussion protocol, Ridder never gets signed in the first place. But here's the kicker: if McCarthy gets hurt again, which is a real possibility given his injury history, Minnesota will probably re-sign Ridder for a 3rd time. That's just how this league works. Since entering the league in 2022, Ridder has been a nomad. Atlanta, Arizona, Las Vegas, Cincinnati, Minnesota. That's 5 teams and 4 seasons. He's 26 years old and already a veteran of half the league, but the real issue isn't Ridder. The real issue is McCarthy. The 22-year-old has missed 23 of his first 28 eligible starts as a pro. That's an alarming injury history for someone this young. The Vikings drafted him 10th overall, expecting a franchise quarterback, and instead they've gotten a medical report. Blogging Dirty's Jason Cannell took a shot at the Vikings when Ridder was first signed, writing, "Vikings signing of Desmond Ridder only confirms a massive J.J. McCarthy nightmare. For as worrisome as Michael Penix Jr. as injury history might be, the Atlanta Falcons must be glad they don't have J.J. McCarthy right now. OUCH. That's a dagger." Candle continued, "Minnesota's desperation led them right into the arms of a former Falcons draft bust. The national media is piling on, and Vikings fans are stuck watching a quarterback carousel that shows no signs of stopping. Do you think J.J. McCarthy can still become the franchise quarterback Minnesota hoped for? Drop your brutal honest take below, and if you're tired of this quarterback chaos, smash that like button and let the front office know Skull Nation demands better." 3 stories. 1 collapse. Thielen asked out to compete elsewhere. Phillips publicly defended O'Connell while the walls close in. And the quarterback room spun again, with Ridder's release exposing just how fragile McCarthy's health is. This isn't a season anymore, this is a crisis. The Vikings are 4-8, staring at a top 10 draft pick, and facing the harsh reality that their franchise quarterback might be made of glass. Let's talk about what happens next. If the Vikings finish 5-12 or 6-11, does Kevin O'Connell survive? Wes Phillips says yes, but the Wilf family might disagree. And here's the biggest question: what happens with Justin Jefferson? After another game where he was a non-factor against Seattle, whispers are starting. Could Minnesota trade their superstar receiver? ESPN's Adam Schefter addressed it on Get Up December 1st, saying it's hard to imagine that they would trade Justin Jefferson. But then again, a year ago, I would have said it's hard to imagine the Dallas Cowboys would have traded Micah Parsons, and they did. Wait, what? Schefter just compared Jefferson to Parsons, who was traded. Schefter continued, "I still don't think they're trading Justin Jefferson. I think he's clearly miffed, disappointed, and bewildered by the way this entire season went. But I don't think they're going to be moving off Justin Jefferson this offseason. Miffed, disappointed, bewildered. Those are code words for unhappy. Jefferson is watching this offense collapse, watching McCarthy struggle, watching the playoffs slip away, and wondering if Minnesota is wasting his prime. If the Vikings don't fix the quarterback position this offseason, Jefferson could demand a trade. Here's what Skull Nation needs to do right now. 1. Smash that like if you believe the Vikings must fix the quarterback position this offseason or risk losing Justin Jefferson. TWO. Drop a comment with your boldest prediction. Does Kevin O'Connell survive? Does McCarthy start all of next season? Does Jefferson stay or go? 3. Subscribe, because every single subscriber makes Packers fans furious. But listen closely, here's the edge of the cliff. There's a rumor circulating that a Vikings defensive leader called a players-only meeting Monday night after the Seattle shutout. No coaches, no front office, just players. And what was said could either galvanize this locker room or fracture it completely. Plus, the Green Bay Packers just got healthy at the worst possible time for Minnesota, and they play each other Week 17 at Lambeau. If the Vikings are eliminated from playoff contention by then, does O'Connell rest starters and hand the division to Green Bay? Or does he go full pride and try to ruin the Packers season? SKOL Nation, the storm is here. Hit subscribe, stay locked, and let's see if this franchise can find land before it sinks. We ride together. See you in the next war.